This is Mark Farrar with Not Square Design, and we're getting August here in 2023. Back to my edition. Been a little bit since I did a video, um, and this is not an addition. I'm sorry. It's a remodel to the interior for Phase 2. Phase 1, we're going to add some electrical, rework the insulation upstairs to make this a tighter home. So, what I need to do for the electrical contractor is show him what I want for the electrical components. So that's what I'm going to do today, is get those electrical components in place for Phase 1 so he can see that portion. So let's switch screens here, and in our program, this is the house from the top. Not really zoomed in that well, but there we go. And this is where I'm sitting right here making this video. And this is where the stairs are now. We want to take out the fireplace, make this just a nice living room dining combo. We want to take all this out. Take all this out. This will be gutted. Relocate stuff as we wish. And then move this wall all the way down. Whether it goes this way or this way, probably not. It's pretty tight in here. But take these stairs to go to the basement and relocate them here, which is going to cause a bunch of havoc with the furnace downstairs and stuff. So these are remodeled, but I haven't drawn the basement yet. But we're not too concerned with that, but may have to draw it to show a couple of outlets that I would like him to place. But first, I just need to move some stuff. But before I do, this is the house in 3D. And so there's the fireplace. It has these arches that are in here just as they are in my actual home. Case where all that stuff is drawn as it really is around here. Didn't put the insert in here because I want to tear that fireplace out. And then I've got, we need to put induction. So we're going to put 200 amps back here inside this door, which will open, but you won't be able to see it when I open it. So I actually kind of need to turn it to a doorway. So real quick, let's change that temporarily from a hinge to a doorway, because I need to see what's behind it. So once the stairs are located in here, there's a panel right here. And whether we leave that and just abandon it or get rid of it altogether, right now we'll probably just abandon it for Phase 1, just because I talked to an electrician and gave me some good ideas. Box that's located out here, the meter, but the panel with the circuit breakers on the exterior of the house. So I will just abandon this altogether, and he's going to route everything through the attic. So what started this whole need to really get into things is that it turned out my home was not rewired with Romex. And when I replaced the light that was in this ceiling, I got into a hornet's nest. And so we need to do the real fix. So let's go to the other side, the floor plan portion. And so what I've got is an existing electrical outlet that's located. But I don't want to confuse the electrician, so I'm going to move it. And I'm going to move it back. And I'm going to place it about here. And then I need to see if this cabinet is drawn as it's designed in the house. So let's go back to this 3D, go down the hall to where that is in the bathroom, and let's check it out. It does have the opening. Okay, so what I've got then is an outlet down here that I want up here. So I have a feeling when I bring it using control up into here, it's not going to come to the face of the cabinet. It did not. So I need to move it in the Y direction, probably minus an inch to start with. So I'm going to click on the little tool up here. On replicate, I'm going to move minus 1, and didn't show up yet. So let's do it again. again. One. Still hasn't shown up. So I wonder where it's going. And in plan view, doesn't look like it's moving. Still located right there. So let's see if I can put that a little bit. Monkey down. So let's open it. Let's see if we can change depth or something. Depth is 9 and but it's probably set to the back. Options. What do we got in here? Wall mounted. Let's do cabinet mounted. See what happens. Now that it's cabinet mounted, can I move it? Can I really move it? Let's try to move it way out here. Here. Now let's move it. Oh, it still wants to stay on that dang wall. Not sure how to get it to do that. Let's try a couple more things. So we'll open options again. Mounts under can sit on base cabinet or table. Let's try that. Now let's see if we can move. Still not in control yet. Doesn't like it. Sure doesn't like it. Can I do with it? Anything with it? Yeah, it's just kind of like the height. When I bring it over here, it's gone. And it won't let me just move it. Because it's being sticky, it's got a behavior. So when I open its component, oops, I just hit tab. Component, we look at its components. Distance from cabinet, 0. Height to center, I don't know. Let's try this. Distance from cabinet, 1. Boom. Look at that. Now, if I were to come into this, how well we did with depth by getting a little closer. Oh, my camera is. Double click on my camera symbol in my toolbar. Camera settings. I'm in the full camera. So I'm going to go to it and change this clipping to 0.5. Say OK, done. And it should cut less. So, my full camera isn't doing what I want. So maybe it's not that camera. Perspective full overview. Perspective floor overview. Let's try this guy. Go ahead and switch this one to, that's already it. And let's see what happens there. See, this didn't change where it's cutting. So what camera am I in? If I come to my other side, take a look. And this is Chief Architect Program. Double click this camera. Come on. Hit the open button. Alright, so here's my specifications. Clipping. Clip surfaces. Let's just go down to 1 and 1/2 inch. And let's see if we can get any closer. So I'm going to go back to the other screen. Not other screen, it's the other half of it. Really huge screen. And yeah, it's out a little. But I mean, we're talking so small that contractors couldn't know what I'm after. Now all I would say is, now that I got it, and it's right depth, if I can scoot out and get it over. And then let's talk to Bobby. Uh-oh. What just happened to it? Let's open it again. and distance from cabinet. And when I set that to 1, that's what it did. Okay, now turn that. And then I'm gonna call Bobby in and make sure this is what she wants, because this is kind of for her hair dryer and blower and all that sort of stuff. Maybe she does want it down here and cut a hole and not have the cords coming into here. I don't know what's better for her. Cord has to come around to do her hair. Here it would be right accessible to her, so gotta ask her opinion. So I'm gonna ask her. Alright, so I have Bobby in here now, and we just did the outlet for the bathroom, which I've lost. There it is. Get down, switch over, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna put a quad down here. So I'll do that in a moment. Right now we're gonna have questions. So, as far as this bathroom goes, one thing I would like to do is in the ceiling, which is not shown here, because I have to do the roof off version, but I will get a roof on version going right now. Let's do that. Okay, so all that's, no, it's generated. Okay, so inside with the roof on, there are 2 ceiling fans going in here, right where the other ones are located, and they will be on remote now, which will be nice. And then we have a duplex outlet up here, which doesn't handle much. So, should we replace this with a quad to put more electronics up there, or wait until we do the big remodel, because you'll probably never do that until the remodel's done. Yeah, there's a plug-in right here.
Down lower or the?
No. There's not, but there can be. That's what I'm trying to figure out now. What are we doing?
All coming from the top?
Yeah, there's that circuit bar that drops off the side onto the floor. And then everything's plugged into that. And the TV's plugged in up here. Okay, so put one here. Get rid of that. So maybe a quad down there, because we do have a bit of stuff. Now, the fireplace is not going to be utilized anymore, so we could put one over here too. So do outlets both sides. So I'll type outlet in the box. And let's do outlets. And so we've got a few choices here. Do you want it to be like a quad or a single? And I'm not even seeing quads. So what I'm going to do, I don't know why I'm not seeing them. Put outlet. Decorator. Which is that stuff. See our outlet. See, there's a single. There's a double. So let's just put a single here right now, and that'll tell me. And then I can go over here and change them into doubles if I decide. Or do you think that 2 is enough per side? We have so much plugged in over here. I think that we should make quad. Oh, look at that! It did it by itself. That's cool. So make that a quad. Okay. And then right now, that one's up here, but I'm not showing anything that's existing. So in the kitchen, do you want any electrical added at this point? We've got one here. One thing I know I'm going to add while she's out looking at the kitchen is behind this stove, I need to put an outlet. And it needs to be 220. 220. So there's a 220 there. Oh, that's not an outlet though. So let's try going all the way up. 220s. So if I look at gosh, I had something going there. I think they're in the core. There we go. Okay, 220. Well, there's receptacle. So I'm going to just stick it here for now to remind me. And that's going to be for the new induction range. And then did you want, did you find anything out there that you wanted?
Not really. Okay. You have a lot plugged in by your coffee.
Over here? So is it a double right now? Duplex?
No, it's a single with a 3-way.
Oh, that's right.
Pot and all that.
That's right.
Toaster.
So, yeah, I guess if I went to, no, I don't want that. I want a GFCI. There we go. So I'll put in a duplex there. Oh, look at that. That didn't combine like the other one did. But that's all right. It tells me what I want. I'll come by and fix it. I just want some quick information from you for right now. So down this hall, we don't have anything, but I don't know if we need anything. Okay, so the next one will be in the closet. He's gonna put in a light up in here at the top. He said they're awesome, and so I'm gonna trust him on that. That we don't need 2 bar lights either side. I was gonna put in real ones, but he said we don't need them. So
is everything good for your printer and stuff?
I believe so. I believe that the outlet is located about here. I can check and make sure. So that works for me. There is one over here? Or just here?
I think there might be one there, but there is one that I use over by the dressers.
Over where at? Here?
Way down by the 3/4 there.
Down about there? Yeah. Middle of the room? Yeah. Okay. So that one exists, right? Is that all you need in this room?
Probably, yeah.
That outlet, and there's that outlet. So I got a printer and a plotter plugged into here. I think we should put one here.
You sure there's not one?
What if I put it there? We just did a quick walk through, and what we can see is obviously that only one of the outlets that are in this room are working. Okay, that was a 4 outlet. I don't need a waterproof, just a regular GSC. Okay, there we go. And that should be GSC too. Then what we just discussed was not a GSDI, so that one doesn't need it. What is that? Yeah, that says GSDI. There it is. So I'll put that is existing there. So I don't think I want to show that. Let's delete that, because the new one is going to go, and the plotter, and then this one exists, so that you also wanted a new one here, right? It goes here. So I got that one. This one is existing, so we'll delete it. Now in the bedroom, our problem is we have this one that's here, that the nice new fancy bed knocks it out. Yeah. Then my other one is out here, where when I walk by it, because our room's so small, I knock it out. So I'd like that moved here. I want an AFCI here. Now, where do you want this one over? Here. Do you want it like way out here, underneath the window? As the hamper goes about there. And I'll probably make it a quad because we got all this. In fact, I should make this one a quad. And above, this goes in. Not in there. Well, that seems odd, but. To the right, so towards this corner.
Under the window.
That way. And I'm gonna make that a quad. We've got plenty of that. Now, my office, I'll deal with that. Any reason to put anything in here? We got one right here. Entry. I can't think of reason, but.
No, other than plug the lamp in behind the couch.
Oh, so move it like one over towards the edge?
It's like hard to plug it in.
Yeah, so if I come out this far,
Or even.
let's see this far. If I come out this far to there, then it's an interior wall. Makes it easy on it. That's. No. So, for a matter of discussing things with the electrician, we would like one here because we're going to rearrange the way that this works so that it's on this wall, not this wall. And currently, the outlet is down right about here. Now, if that can be refished to be safe wire, great. If not, plate it off. Same thing occurs here. We have one here. If you can fish it, we'd like to keep it, and then we won't need one here. If you can't fish it and make it good, safe Romex, then let's just back to back these guys and plate this one off. So either way, we'd like to have one here, and if you can't keep this one with good Romex, then let's put it here, and this one can stay regardless. And let's just get good wire to there if it's at all possible. And then down here, we've got an outlet that's back in here. And Bobby would like one centered on the window. And then the one that's here that exists is way behind our couch, which sits way out here. So what we'd like to do is as far as this can be brought over, and I realize there's some framing over here. So it may only be able to go to here, but the closer it can come to the actual, I mean, right up to that edge. There's no trim there. So maybe a piece of metal beadboard, or bead, drywall bead there, but that's it. There's one already existing here, one on the other side here. I'll look at my office a little closer and figure that part out. So, as far as outlets in the kitchen, we have one here. This one we want to change to a quad. This I'm putting in for the induction. Can you think of anything else you want? Do you want this to move to a quad instead of a duplex? Do you need more than what? How many outlets are there? Not enough room to put shit. I mean, in the future, when we tear the stairs out and stuff. So then downstairs, I want to put in a couple outlets. I'm going to put one in all the computer craft room, and leftover stuff, and one where paint. Just add outlets. Would you like any more in that big room? So if we get rid of the train set, we turn it into a guest room. Alright. So kind of anywhere I can find down there, just put some convenient outlets.
Is there any over by where?
There's nothing.
Far wall.
There's nothing. There's the one for the rain system.
No, I mean in the big room.
There's nothing but the one on the fireplace. That's the only outlet in that whole huge room.
There's one behind it.
Oh, there is. I didn't even know about that one. Okay. I'll just distribute them around. Now, do you want to attack lighting in that room now, or just have them fix what's there? Obviously, with outlets, we can put in lamps. But the main room will light it. And in the back of your car, some disc light that you can put in. And then in the bathroom, I need to put a new ceiling fan with a nice light in it, and we're gonna put a light in the tub area. Okay, so I have dropped a ceiling fan from the catalog into here. When I open that ceiling fan, properties have this big long post, and that's not going to work on a little 8-foot ceiling. So there are ways to change the 3D. Does it have any? The newer objects have areas that you can, advanced sizing. Here we go. So if I look at how this is, then I can look at see if I can figure out where that post dimension is located. Depth -10. So what has just changed? So let's do it really different. So we see what changed. And I don't see anything. Oh, okay. So we leave that at 10. Still don't know that I understand it. But let's turn it, oh, here we go. So let's do try it to 2. Now, why did it do what it did? So the overall depth. 2 to 2. Oh, see, now I think that's, yeah, see, that's another direction. So I want, oh, look at that. So, yeah, that's that one. So height, from there to there and there. Not sure where the stretch point is. Uniform stretch zones. Oh, here we go. So 1, 2, 3. So height, 1, 2. Let's see what happens here. Now, if I make that -2 and I say OK, then the only way to find out what happened is to switch screens and go take a look at it. Again. And show it in like the preview. Where's front of my house? There it is. So it should be right here. Okay, so it didn't change it. I'm trying to, I have fans that exist, so I'm trying to make this look like the fans I have. And I want this piece right here. Now I wonder if I can do it like this. Straight up. And I can't by shoving it up into the ceiling, so the box just went in the ceiling. And mine are pretty tight packed, but not quite that. Probably about like that. So it looks pretty good. So what I want to do is open it up and then look and see the materials. Now it's got hardware and it's got paddles. I can't put the light on it. So for the electrician's purpose, you need to know this is a remote control. It's got a center light. So kind of a cooler modern fan. And let's see if we can take this and copy it and put it about where it goes. And then did that in the same room, and yes, it kept that height. Good. So what you're going to do is see that it goes up through the ceiling. But kind of the best I can do. With this one, some are stretchable, or I'm not stretching it correctly. Not sure which. So those two ceiling fans I want replaced, and then I want to take one of these ceiling fans, and if I turn this off, let's take this one, and I want to copy it and replace it in my office. So I have a fan in there, and then I would like to have a fan box at least in here. So let's go ahead and change this out to a fan box, so we're ready for it. And in here there is a fan box, so it's fine to stay as it is. And so let's see if I have anything else that we had just discussed. I don't think there is. So I just got to figure out what I would like in my office. I have a quad here now that was just put in, but it's grounded kind of funky. So let's take this and let's copy it, because I want to make sure that the electrician knows we've got to at least do something with this. Let's, oops, cancel. Let's copy that and put one here, because it is a quad, and it's just grounded to some water piping. I'd like that grounded better. I would love to have a quad about centered under that window. So let's go ahead and copy that again, put it here. Closer together, so, oops. Don't want it on the outside. There. And hopefully that'll represent what I'm after. Then there is a single one in this vicinity, so I just want to, again, make it a quad. Over here, there is a single, and that's fine. Now, let's at least discuss the option of putting one in here. I have a cabinet in here, so I might want to put it on the side. The one thing that he would like to do, if I go to my core and I put in puck light, let's see what it gives me. There we go. So recessed down light 2, we'll just go with that. And he's told me that he thinks that these will be awesome for me, so I'm going to trust that and put them in there. And I want one in here, centered on the closet space. And that should be pretty good shape. Here's a weird ceiling, right? So it lights up things well in here. There's even an outlet in this. There's a compartment here, as if there was an interior wall that runs. It runs out the fireplace. Not sure how exactly it goes, but Control Z that. Let's grab it again, make sure we got it, because it's wider, but it's our mop closets in here. So I'll get that drawn in, and then there's a cabinet that's here. So this cell here, I think, is for HVAC, and that's how the duct gets from the basement up, is in this portion, because there is a cabinet that's pretty big, double door, on this wall here. But there's an electrical outlet in here that probably needs to be just looked at. So what I did is I found on my catalog an electrical panel / meter that I need to drop in here. So that it exists out here, but we need to replace that with a panel / meter instead of just a meter. So wherever that is, you can put it in the same place. And then I need to think through if I want any electrical added to the exterior, but don't think at this time. So to make this speed up a little bit, I'll position the camera real quick, because I want a light in here, because I don't like how dark my shower is. I really don't. So if I type in here and the menu just puck light, we'll find them. It does. Okay, now this just says puck light. It doesn't say whether it's waterproof, but he'll know. So I'm going to put it here and look at, see, it went up to this level is what it did. So what I need to do with that is find it in my plan view probably. I'm going to click. Ooh, I just put one there. Now I need to hit tab, but I'm going to switch to the other screen so you can see what's going on. And so I trying to select this light. But I'm unable to, but I'm in Windows Select, or what we call something like contained select in this program. Now this is in here looking the opposite direction. It should be spun. Oh, that's just the word. Oh. Well, it's like that. But if I move it, jeez. Oh, it's because I have two cameras in here. So this one is pointed the other way. So if I switch to the camera in the other view and I turn it around and then back it up and get it out of the room, that should help. Now if I come back to here and the view didn't refresh display. There we go. Now it's out of my way. So when I try and select these, I'm not seeing anything. But if I go back to the other screen, let's see if it's... Sometimes you can fly up here. Oops. Fly up. And take a look. And I don't even... It's like it didn't install. That's my thought. It did not install. I'm in the cabinet right now, I think. I'm pretty sure. And one way to find out is go out. Yeah, I was in the bathroom. In the cabinet. So I don't know why it's not installing right there. So let's try it again. Reset. And kick it. Okay, so let's try something else. Let's go here. We'll go into the bathroom. And let's put it up here and then move it. Let's get it in there. There we go. It's in there. Now, let's select it. Got it. Open. I have a 3D mouse that I'm doing all that functions with. So, light data, height, reset, object size, retain, offset from ceiling. So, I'm going to put 12. Let's see what happens. Boom. Now, if I come up in, probably going to be pretty close to high enough. So I'm going to look at my floor plan view, so you'll see it move. And, man, it really looks like I got it at the right height. Nope, I'm not in the right spot to tell, but yeah, it does look right. So now I'm going to grab it in my floor plan view, and you can watch it move into the spot. And yeah, it's a little low. Oops, missed it. So since I clicked there, oh, now I got it. Now I can open. And I set that distance. Let's make it 11.5. And boom, there we go. And let's just drop down and make sure we can see it. So that is the electrical I want for that piece. And then up in here, I just want something nicer. Got a really old, crappy ceiling fan light. So I needed to be a ventilation fan, and I don't know what they're going to call it in cheap. So we're just going to try ventilation fan. Let's see what we get. There's an exhaust. That's what we're looking for. Okay, let's see what this unit looks like. That's a pretty junky one. And this looks like the dual. It's got dual lights, maybe even one with heat and a fan. It's not a bad thought. Kind of the same thing, except the exhaust fan's in the middle. That wouldn't be bad. Really would not be bad to have something pretty cool like that. Looking through this, I'm not seeing a whole lot that turns me on. So let's go with this guy. Drop it in. Oh, there she goes. And that's what we get. So, nice. So, this was kind of for the purpose of the lesson. I've got my duals there. I'm not showing the existing. And there's that light that he swears by. And I got stuff in here, and then I got a hanging rod with clothes. And she's bright enough. So there's that one. If I were to take this door and options and open it, and I should see the light in there too. Boom, there it is. So the same should occur in the office. Oops. Where am I? I lost my location. If I drop, that's just nuts. I'm in the back of the house. That's the problem. This is the office. There's my that, and so we just got to take the door, and let's change the option to show open. I should see the light. There it is. And the outlet. Now the outlet exists here. I'm going to put a quad there. I'm going to put a quad here. Oh, did they combine? Look at that. It did combine. I have too many buttons on it, but hey. Points there. So what I need to do is in my plan view, is I got to make a couple corrections because I have PFCIs in the living room right there. I need to change them to ASCIs. But other than that, I think we're good. So I'm going to sign out and just make those minor corrections. Maybe take some measurements and make them really adjusted to the exact locations, but I don't think it's necessary. Although I would say in plan view, I know that that's not there. It is more like, let's see, put it on the center of the bathtub and then move it out. Because this stuff I have dimensioned really well. So that should be more where that's located. And I think we're in pretty good shape. Oh, I would like this to be a quad. So if I take this and I copy it and I put it right next to it, what happens? It goes up against that wall again. Now if I hit open and it says distance from wall, let's turn it to 1, enter, bink, it moved out. So all I can say is if we really want to, we'll come back to this view, go down the hall, whoop, I missed, go down the hall and take a look and see if they combine. They did, but they're regular standard outlets, and those definitely need to be GFCI. So I can try and put in GFCIs and see if they'll change to 1 inch difference. And then this one, Bobby's made me aware that one of the two, and this is turned. Let me see if I can do that. That's curious. It's rotated. It's set in there sideways. So height from center, distance from wall. This is going to be just on the lighting. Now the 3D stuff, X, Y, angle, 0. What happens? Nothing. Open. Up. Rotate. About the Z? No, I kind of want to rotate. Let's see, that's red X. So probably about the Y. And rotate. There we go. Boom. That's how it's oriented. So, then in here, we're adding those two. We've got one here. We're adding those two. We've got one here. Back out. So there's one there. Putting the ceiling fan block in there. Oh, you know what I forgot? Let's go back to, I wonder if I can type in ceiling outlet. Because I want an outlet in the ceiling. Center of the room. So I'll just drop it here. Then, if I switch over to the other half of the screen and zoom out, come over to the bedroom, and we can find center. So let's just do it this way. Come with a CAD line and go from here to there, and then I should have one up the middle of that. And it looks like the fan hit middle, so I picked the middle of the room. Oops, escape. And I do want A, I think. Should be in my pick mode. Oh, that's weird, it wasn't changing to the pick mode. What program am I in? I'm in this. Okay, so at any rate, grab it, move it over. Because I like to have a drop down TV up there eventually. I need a plug for it. Probably need to move it back close to the wall. Okay. So it'll fold out and be out of the way, and then drop down to be viewed from our spectacular bed that sits upright, all that crazy stuff. All right, that should be good. There is that outlet that I showed in here. I should show it as like a ceiling outlet like that. And I think I want it to be a GFCI. I don't know if this will throw on the ceiling. Oh, it did. How do you like that? Okay. So that ceiling outlet will probably be over here. We can leave it there. It has to do with, I actually want it to be in the attic. So, and then it is some wires that come around here, out my door and up into the attic access here. I would like those to just be everything up in the attic, because they're coming out of the attic access and then coming around to the unit over here. And I don't want that unit here anymore. I want the unit on the shelf in here. No, I want the unit actually accessible on a shelf up above in the attic access. Viewable from right here. But I do need a plug in the back, but it's not down here. So let's switch, show what we need. So in the master bedroom closet, that outlet right there, there's a shelf stuff up top. Shelf and rod. So all I really need to do, represented correctly, is move it up. And that's where I want the outlet, is to be from that shelf. So there's one outlet there, and then one up in the attic, probably right behind this wall in the attic. That would be accessible from the access. But if I go into the hall, here, that attic access is right here, between the bathroom and the bedroom. So I'll open that up and straight ahead over the access here. Brings me an outlet somewhere around that location. And I would assume we'd want to waterproof it. So I think we're good. I hope this time. Anyway, I'm going to call it good because I'm going to stop this recording. So this is Mark Farrar from Not Square Design in Butte, Montana. Be plenty open to contacting me and let me know if you need any help with anything. And be glad to do design services. That's what I do for a living, so it's not just me playing around with my house. So next time, this is Mark Farrar from Not Square Design. Bye now.